Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to do the heart stripe crochet baby blanket. There are two versions. The version 1 here has the colors changing for every different heart. Version 2 is just solid hearts. Either way, you're gonna have you covered today, and it's just a matter of what you decide to do with your color arrangement. So it's actually really quite an easy pattern to be able to follow. There is a crochet diagram on page number 2, and if you'd like to change the size of this particular blanket, the designer has given us that information. It's multiples of 6 plus 10, so it goes 6 6 6 6 6 and then add 10 at the end of the chain, and then you will have the size that you wish. We're gonna be using a 5mm size H crochet hook today with Bernat Baby Velvet as our color of choice, and I'm only gonna just be demonstrating 2 colors today. So without further ado, let's get started with your 5mm size H crochet hook. So here's the diagram. It's made up of multiples of 6 plus 10. I did verify that as well just to make sure. And so you're seeing then here 22 chains, but you want to go the pattern suggested if you would like to match the pattern. So 118 chains is what you can exactly get for a baby blanket. Now you're going to notice here we're using a lot of half double crochets in this particular concept. Only in the bobbles is where you're going to change the color. So version 1 basically has you changing the color so that this bobble is different from this one, and it works up sequentially. So it's different colors if you would like to do that. And version 2, it's like each one of these bobbles is the same color. Now you cannot carry the yarn up when you're going to do this kind of concept, because when you get to the end of this row, for example, when you go back across, this color has to start over here. So you're gonna have to finish off your colors when you're going to do that. So it requires a little bit of extra work when you're going to do this, but you know what, that's what makes this quite the charm. There's only 2 rounds for the crochet border once you get started, and you got to watch these bobbles as well because they're worked on the horizontal bar, which I'll show you where that is as well. So without further ado, let's start our chains and let's begin. So let's begin. This is an intermediate level project, just so that you're aware, and it doesn't mean that beginners and whatever cannot start. It just means that you just require a little bit more knowledge maybe. So you're going to chain either 118, or you can do the multiples if you'd like to change the size. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So there's one multiple. 1 2 3 4 5 6. There's another multiple, and when you're satisfied with the width of this, just add another extra 10 chains. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So just do your entire chain, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So we're doing the setup row number 1. So setup row. So you're just gonna go 3rd chain from the hook. If you're not sure where that is, just count it back. So 1 2 and go to the 3rd. So just turn it around and get the back hump of the chain. And once you get the back hump the first time, the chain will stay turned over as you're working through, and you're gonna half double crochet yourself all the way across back on your chain. So just take your time. The first one may be a little more difficult if you're not used to this yarn. Maybe that's why it makes it a little bit intermediate, but that's okay. If you're familiar with crochet, then you'll just exactly see where to stick your hook. And because the yarn is so fluffy and there's just a really thin interior for the actual threading itself, you can actually feel the stitches when you're holding this as well. So let's continue, and I'll see you at the end of this chain. So this is the setup row, and now we're ready for the fun stuff. Rows number 1 through 4 is the repeat pattern through this whole thing. So let's begin. So if you need to reverse back, this is the point where you'll reverse back to. So we're gonna chain 2, which will count as the first half double crochet, and we immediately jump into the next one, and for row number 1 we're just gonna half double crochet ourselves all the way back across like that. Nice and easy, just in the regular stitches, and I will see you at the end of this row. When you get to the end of the row, do not forget that turning chain. If anything, new crocheters, that's where they stop, so they stop too soon. So here is the last half double crochet here, and don't forget that turning chain. So go right into the chain itself, don't go into a gap space, and that'll keep it nice and tight. So now you want to finish that yarn off. So you just got to cut it and use your tapestry needle. So just pull it through. This yarn can worm in the sense that it is so slippery and it feels so good, is that the chenille here is really quite vibrant. So what I would do is just turn it to the back side of here and just weave it through. So if you try to weave it in with just your crochet hook, it will worm itself out. But if you use a tapestry needle and go back and forth a total of 3 times, you should be good to go. And make sure when you do this you don't pull on it so that it changes the shape. So just go back and forth a total of 3 times, and that will be the only time I show you how to do that. And the next part we're gonna just change the color and continue along. So we're gonna be starting on the side that we just finished right here, and we'll begin to do that in just a moment. So I want you to create a slip knot. Leave a bit of a longer tail on it so you can use a tapestry needle to hide that in later. And you can also go up over top of it. And so you want to go into the top of the first one. So this is where we finished. So I've turned it, and we're just gonna go into the top of the half double crochet that's there, and we're going to join it. So what I would do, you can either join it with a slip stitch, chain one single crochet, or you can just go in with it already on the hook and pull through, and there's 2 on the hook here. Just pull through the 2, and that will be a standing single crochet, which is a nice easy one. So now you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and you have to skip the next 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and go to the 4th. So it's telling you to go to the bar that is the 3rd bar down, the horizontal bar. Now it's harder to see on this yarn, but let me just pull at the hook. It's right here. Okay, so here is the regular stitch, and it's just 1 down from there, and that's where you're gonna play. So let's begin. We're gonna do a bobble. So just wrap the hook first and skip the 3. So 1, 2, 3, and go into the horizontal bar only, and yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2 and hold, and then do that again, same bar, pull through 2 and hold, and then one more time in, pull through 2 and hold. You'll have 4 loops in the hook, pull through all 4, then chain 1, and then into the same one again, yarn over, pull through 2 and hold, and you'll do that a total of 3 times like you did before. This is creating the heart shape. Once you have your 4 loops, pull through all 4. Now you're gonna chain 3, so chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to skip a set amount of stitches. Okay, so you got to make sure that you're paying attention to that. So we're gonna skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're gonna skip over to the 6th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go to the 6th and go to the horizontal bar. And pull through and hold. You'll do that a total of 3 times again. Once you have that done, chain 1 and do it again. Like that. And then chain, how many do you remember? It's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and skip over to the 6th one. So in this case 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're gonna skip to there and use the horizontal bar only. If you want to use a regular stitch, you probably could get away with that. And then chain 1 and then do it again. And then pull through all of them, and then to finish, because we're coming up to the end, so that's what it looks like. You're coming up to the end, you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and in the very last one in the turning chain itself, you're going to single crochet. Now you're gonna get rid of this color. So when you get rid of this color, you want to make sure you're paying attention to how you're doing that. You want to trim it, and when you do that, you want to go and put that color inside the other color that's there. Other meaning here. So just trace it along, staying within the same color. And go back and forth a total of 3 times. So you'll do that. So stay within the same colors when you're going to change these colors to have a beautiful effect that looks almost invisible on where you change things around. And then once you're done that, you're just going to turn your work and then begin the next row. So let's begin the next row. So we're gonna begin the next row using the regular color again, and when you go to attach it, you'll attach on the first one, and you just gotta be a little bit looser with the single crochet. So attach it and just pull through. I'm just doing a standing one. Just give it a little bit more slack than you normally would, and then pull through 2. That's a standing single crochet. Now what we need to do is fill in the spots underneath. So starting in the very first one in this gray, you're gonna just half double crochet and you're gonna go right up over top of this purple. So just going up in, and then just make sure the yarn goes around so it traps that chaining underneath, and just half double crochet and then do the next one that's in a row down here and trap that all in. So there's 2 there. Then you're going to chain 2, and then you're gonna go in between the space of these and single crochet, and then chain 2, and you're going to go into the middle ones of these 3. Okay, so just 1 2 3 and just half double crochet. Just like that. Now you're gonna chain 2, go in between, chain 2, and then again it's the middle one of this group here. So it's the middle 3. Then chain 2, go in between, chain 2, and on this side here you have 2 double crochet or half double crochets just before the end, and then just give it a little bit of slack and single crochet in that last one like that, and so the heart is then revealed like that. So now you're gonna turn your work, row number 4, this is gonna be the end of the repeat, is chain 2 counts as the double crochet, and then you're just going to put in a half double crochet in each of the spots here. So you have the first 2 to do. In the chain 2 space you're only gonna put 1 half double crochet to keep the count. You're gonna go right into the single and then a half into the next chain 2, and then these 3 each all have a half. So remember, in the chain 2 there's only 1 half double crochet, the single has 1, the next chain 2 has only 1, and etc. And do this all the way across. I'll see you at the end of the row. When you get to the end of the row, you're just gonna fill in the final 3 stitches, and then you begin all over again. So just turn your work and you begin all over again then, and you're going to start then in row number 1. So row number 1 is a half double crochet, and row number 2 is these bobbles again. Row number 3 is those chain 2 spaces that separate those, and then row number 4 is a half double crochet, and you're just gonna continue to do this and build it up as big as you want to go. So it's a really neat idea, and I think you can enjoy just like that. So it's really neat. So what we should do is just concentrate on how to do the border. So the border is just made up of just single crochets that are evenly around. So if you, once you're satisfied with it, you're just going to chain 1, and right in the corner, the corner stitch, you're gonna put 3 single crochets in, and then you're just gonna ram in your single crochets in each stitch is going all the way across. The trick is that when you go up the side you want to equally space out your stitches when you're doing that. So make sure that when you get there that, like, let's just say that I'm over there. So if I'm gonna come down the other side, you want to make sure that you are staying within the chain spaces. So don't go into a whole gap because it'll pull it apart, and you're just gonna equally space out your stitches as you're going down the side, so you're not worried about counting at all. In row number 2, because you're gonna put 3 single crochets in the corner, the middle one of the 3 is gonna have 3 single crochets, and then the rest of them across the tops and the sides will all be 1 single crochet in each, and then when you hit the next corner the middle one of the 3 will have 3 single crochets in it. So this would be how you would complete it, and it looks pretty awesome. It's a nice simple concept, and I think that you can enjoy it at the same time. So have a good one, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.